Downey, see this? This is this. This ain't something else. This is this.
So is that day? So dislike. So involved in all the wrong fights. Overbearing influence. Not endearing to anyone. Wealth and power crashing through. Wealth imposes its own views. Wealth and power crashing in on the woman once again. So resented, so disliked, so involved in all the wrong fights. Domination won't win friends. Just give birth to hostile trends. It feels good to see freedom accepted. From my free thought, not a gun to the head. It feels good to see freedom embraced. But my struggle, not a puppet's feeble imitation. Wealth and power crashing through. Wealth imposes its own views. Wealth and power crashing in on the warp of unrelenting.
Sorry, guys. There's something wrong with YouTube's audio and my restream. It's acting weird. Obviously, you got some weird pop, pop, pop or clipping too. So, yeah, you could text me, Chris. But I'll pull everybody up on screen here now. So give me a second. You can stay where you are. You're doing good now, right? Okay, yeah, I gotta pause the live stream. Boom. I wouldn't worry about that now. You want to say hello to the audience? Hello,
Hey
audio.
guys,
I'm just doing a
what's
sound
up,
check
guys?
because, yeah, I've been getting a lot of complaints that a lot of the, I think everybody's microphones aren't working good. I want to just run through and see, are we getting a good sound out of, what do you call it? Say Google Meets. That's the word. Yeah, I just got off work and I read a couple of comments over a couple of different streams, and they're like saying the audio needs improvement, especially talking. You know,
Did you get my comment from Flatzoid's stream earlier?
which
I didn't get to see the stream, but I watched it and I commented. Flatzoid was talking about, is Jesus a myth or something?
no, that was today, wasn't it? Or earlier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I left it to comment because PJ was giving me a shout out for subscribers, and
Yeah.
but he misinterpreted things I was trying to say. Like he was saying that I didn't include a containment, and he also was saying something along the lines of magnetism, where I tried to straighten it out in a comment that
Okay.
all things.
What
Yeah,
were
yeah,
you
go
saying?
ahead.
What were you saying about containment and magnetism? Or what was he trying to say? Either one.
Um, what I'm saying is that all things ain't magnetism, it's resistance and density, where and and the other part, the containment, I was saying that it's got to be contained to have such a steep uh, uh, gradient
Yeah. I'm getting
that
what you're saying.
it's huh?
I get what you're saying there, but I mean, the force that is applied within nature, like even with the heavens themselves, have to have some way to register that force. Like, you're saying that you got to have a pushing or a pulling force within this system to drive it, basically. You follow? Like he thinks you're accrediting that to magnetism for the most part.
Yeah, no, it's resistance, density and resistance.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's got to be
trying
sorry.
to pull it up right now
Okay, it's
because I know everything. I know and I write stuff down, and if I go too much too soon, it'll get irrational. I just try keeping it simple, just like puzzle pieces, like slowly. Once you build it up in your own mind, then it'll make more sense. If I try throwing the stuff like they do a bunch of long equations, then it's like, what? I don't understand this.
well, no. If you actually can break down the equations and give them assigned properties, you got to a math equation doesn't tell you, and the average Joe is going to look at you like, wow, that's math. They're not going to like, oh, he's talking about this, that, and the other. If you can tell them what you assign to each one of the equations, what are you trying to explain? What's causing what? A cause and effect relationship is what we're looking for. That's the scientific
Right?
method.
I could do equations, but math it doesn't. I just try keeping it simple. Like, okay, I don't know if I could share that comment. I can read it off real quick.
Well, if you can reach the little screen at the bottom there, back here. Hold on a second.
What do I got to do? Share my screen
Yeah,
or
you see the little like laptop at the bottom of the page there, right in front of you.
what I see
You
is
have a bar of
a
like options.
camera, microphone.
Yeah,
I see emojis. I see the three little dots.
but you don't see a box with an arrow in it.
Not on my mobile.
Well, you can't. You don't have the option to share in here then. But you can read it off if you want to. Read his comment. I'm sure I can try to answer it for him. I'm pretty sure he's looking for like what is the cause of the resistance, besides density. Like it has to stack a certain way, and it has to
Okay.
be something applied to it.
The way I said it is I have an electrical physical model that it's a
Okay.
new system that connects the mechanical world, which is the force acceleration, to the electrical world, the potential and pressure through the ubiquitous ether. Now I do what you do with pressure. You have the RDD, but I add potential into it as well.
Well, we have
So
forces that create potential for the most part. Yeah, that's what their applied forces like you or any other uh, material substance is actually finding equilibrium applies that force, or it gets moved upon by another force such as heat, cold. Uh, there's probably a different kind of gases that release different type of pressures, and then it applies it to the anything. That's the density ratio. Like it's like let's say you're in a tub of a heavy liquid, it's going to take more energy applied to actually move in it. That's
Well,
yeah,
in simplified terms, there's a voltage potential within the atmosphere.
yeah.
There's roughly 400 to 500,000 volts in the atmosphere. You can harness there's a lot of videos of them
Yeah, I've seen.
harnessing the atmospheric voltage. Yeah, and it increases as you go up. So down at the Earth's surface, it's level zero almost,
Yeah, I think that's
the
due to
voltage.
like
And
the kinetic energy between the gases and the layers of them. They do create a friction with each other, and it causes
well,
potential, a voltage potential. Yeah.
yeah. Well, see, everything that has in common is resistance and some form of density. All matter has density or resistance.
Yeah.
The only thing in nature they can come and say, well, superconductors, they have zero resistance, which is true. But everything else in this atmospheric boundary layer, if you think how small of a space it is, it's only 1 mile. Basically, within 1 mile, you have everything in existence on Earth. From the Earth's surface up out to 1 mile, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what
Um,
you're saying. They're elevations that are higher than 1 mile. I'm pretty sure.
well, Mount Everest is 6 miles high. Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about okay. So I say the action is that all matter must have a certain density or resistance. The force we experience as weight is simply the result of a higher ether potential, V high, and that's pressing down to the stratopause boundary. From the stratopause boundary, 32 miles up to relatively lower ether potential V low at our surface. And the constraint, which is it's the Rome is only 32 miles thick. The immense pressure gradient must be contained within that shallow height.
Yeah.
This constraint suggests the gradient, the change in height to the change in v, is extremely steep, which is why objects accelerate downward so quickly. And you can um, relate this to the 9.8 meters a second
Well, that's an average,
fall
man.
rate.
It varies too. Yeah, but you can average. It's the same thing that they do with the globe too. They basically average out the fall rate and call it gravity. You know, you average it out.
Yeah, well, it's a combination. Yeah, it's like a combination where Wesley, when he was talking about weight is measured in newtons
Yeah,
and mass is measured in kilograms, and then so this unit of mass multiplied the unit of acceleration equals the newton's force.
I don't think it's considered a force necessarily. That's a weight. That's what I get. That is potential in itself until when it finds equilibrium, it'll move to its bias. Now there are other things that weigh less, and they do the exact opposite. It depends on what, like the phase changes of gas too. I mean, those are basic principles. Those cause a lot of the
Yeah,
slides. Yeah,
I break it down way deeper. I get into like joules and basically adding in like the
well, joules are more registered like
electrical.
electrical potential. Yes.
Well, it's one kilogram. The amount of energy it takes to move 1 kilogram a meter is 1 joule.
Yeah.
Um,
With relative density, everything's at rest as it goes, unless it's acted upon. That means you have to actually apply the energy to the system. Like for instance, you'll have to take the object up higher than when it's out of equilibrium, and then it'll go down, or you let things go and it'll find its buoyancy level, or it'll reach its equilibrium, depending on its
yeah, but see what
not.
the big picture that before without going too deep is that I have added ether back to the thing. It's all about because they've taken ether away,
Who
with
took it away
the
though? I mean,
gravity.
if it was really a thing, I mean, if ether is absolutely a positive thing, which I see potential within all the layers of denser gas, lighter gases, and their interaction, uh, and everything travels through those. Right, light travels through them. We travel through them. We fly through them. We swim in them. We walk on them every day. Uh, that's the physical natural world. And you could call them what you want to, but it's not going to change how they act. You can learn how they react to certain stimulus. You like charging neons and noble gases, you'll get different reactions out of them, and you'll get different hues and colors and stuff. Yeah, and you could
Yeah,
even
there's all
yeah
kinds of things going on. It's always a lot of little simple things that adds up to be something amazing.
yeah
It's really
it's
simplified
it's
things, but it's
orchestrated.
many, many pieces that adds up to be something really great.
Yeah.
Where like science, they'll take one thing and then add all
Well,
this jargon and equations and then expand it out and it look like, wow, that's complicated. It looks like they figured that all out.
yeah,
That's a
the
lot of
reason they
equations,
complicate it is they
It-
want you to understand how it works. They want to keep what they think to themselves. It gives them kind of it's like a power trip, you might say. And you usually got to pay for those kind of diplomas, dude. Think about it. You got to spend like
that-
4 or 5 years in a school and learn these things, and you got to pay them a set amount, and you'll end up paying that set amount until probably the day you retire and die. That's the way that works. If you want to have the luxuries of this world, that's what they really want you to do. They want you to go into the slave system and learn what they teach you and how they teach you. And if you go outside of it, you start thinking outside the box, they'll label you a kook, you know, and you won't get any further in the
of
system
course.
itself. Yeah,
Of course, that was Tesla. He said that there was an ether, and he said that he didn't believe in an electron.
yeah. A
And you
lot of
see what all he invented for
I,
us, but
I'm,
he wasn't the popular guy.
yeah, I've never seen an electron personally myself, and I've actually looked for them, and I can't seem to find them anywhere. I get it like an electronic, we call them I guess electronic microscope, or I think that's the term they use. And you can actually give you an image of what this could be the atom here, and they'll give you like a red dot that's glowing inside of a nucleus, and this is the atom. I'm like, I don't, it doesn't, it's not very convincing. And I don't think anybody's ever
Well,
seen
to
them.
me,
Yeah,
I don't do electron flow either, since I
yeah,
don't believe in the electron. I don't believe in flow, and they have flow with everything. So they call Tesla's alternating current. It's alternating backwards and forwards.
yeah. I know how
Like
it works.
if you take one step forward and one step back, you never moved anywhere, first of all. But what it's alternating is the on and off.
Yeah,
Now the and direct current, they have something called pulse DC with transistors.
yeah,
Processors are made with transistors, all on and off. They call it pulse DC, but you could call it alternating DC. You can call it alternating on and off because
yeah.
that's what it's doing.
Well, he had to fluctuate it, I think, because it was actually with direct current, it's drawing. It was getting the conductors way too hot. And it would fry like the equipment too, and it was just hard to maintain. That's why he created the alternating current, right? Because the direct current was not working.
Uh,
Yeah, especially
no, he just understood Faraday's law. He had mnemonic memory. He called it a memory palace, where he can read a book and memorize the whole thing. He could do calculus in his head. He could do entire experiments in his head. Basically, he memorized everything that he ever learned. He was a
calculus
special guy.
only could for certain things, man. I think it complicates a lot of the stuff. So does algebra too. I don't need to learn algebra to actually measure things or
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have to come up
To
with all these
quantify
equations. I've been beating my head over it a little bit recently to try to, because I've been thinking about how Wesley would present things
yeah.
if I were to debate him, and it's more like I'm simplified,
Okay,
just like
I'm sure
a
you
lot
would
of
have
easy
fun
things
doing it. Yeah,
stacked up. I don't have to pull out all these equations to prove anything, to prove it,
yeah. Well, you don't have to.
which
Yeah, I mean, if you can quantify it for people, and it makes it more usable. That's what they're trying to do.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to do it in simplistic. I leave math for math people who love math or calculators or software or whatever.
You can get a
Uh,
calculator and figure things out yourself. I mean, it's not hard. My dad was an engineer after he got out of the Navy, so he actually took physics in Navy, and in the Navy they gave him 2 years of that and 2 years of electronic engineering. So he went to DeVry Tech and he went to MIT and did both. He had a degree from both, and he actually got jobs with Apple. He worked for White Business Machines at Sony. He worked for a few other companies. I think he spent a stint at Texas Instruments for a couple of years. Traveled the country. He even started his own company. He did bench work, and he worked for radio. The one of his biggest jobs, he worked for Mount Mitchell Group, which is actually Billy Graham's radio station. So he actually did radio work. He took care of all their technical issues. So yeah, but I mean, he had to quantify a lot of things. If he didn't, he'd be in trouble. Hey, look, it's D-Man.
yeah, well, what's up, man?
Yeah, and that's Ryan, by the way. Ryan, you made your way in, didn't you?
Hey, Brian.
I did.
Yeah. So
D-Man?
what I'm doing tonight is he's talking about wanting to debate Wesley ether versus gravity. Ding ding, get it on. But I'm just doing a sound.
Well, I do what you're doing. What you would say, I'm all on board with that RDD, but I add potential and I add this electrical part to it.
Well, I'm just dealing with natural sciences right now. I mean, I guess you could call those part of natural sciences, but a lot of people consider it like on the edge, kind of. They don't understand it, and you're trying to quantify everything so everybody can understand it, right? That's what they're trying to simplify it for the the layman. You want to break down what ether?
Yeah, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them. Like I spend most of my time in mathematics or not math, like electrical engineering, like reverse engineering, because they started out with hydraulic analogy, so they refer to everything as in water pipes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Current and then pressure and flow and all this. So I have to take that, reverse engineer this, what they're trying to say, and then think outside the box of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Volta, who invented the battery, okay, with the real potential in the battery is the amperage. You know, a car battery has 600 amps, but it's only 12 volts. The voltage ain't the power in the battery, it's the amperage. But the battery was made by the dude who we named the voltage, the electrical, right? So it's like,
I know a few volts.
That's weird, but
yeah.
But amperage, I had to reverse that, and like they're calling that current, but really what it is the magnetic field. Because once you have a circuit like an electric magnet, you create a magnetic field. And the same with the battery. You're going to harness that the amperage. You're going to harness the amperage out of the battery, not the voltage.
Yeah, well, I've seen what the electric part of it, like it pushes like hydros, like water, oils, and stuff like a heavy or denser. It'll actually physically move them. You know, it's weird, but with other conductive materials, it'll actually pass through them and make a circuit. But yeah, you're trying to say amperage is more like the potential, the magnetic electric potential that it has.
Everything's electromagnetic. Like say anytime like an electric wire, if you run electricity through a wire, you will have a magnetic field that's created around that wire, perpendicular to the wire.
A perpendicular.
Every time you have, yeah. It goes around. It's kind of goes into that Lorentz force a little bit.
Yeah, I know who Lawrence is. Can I say hi to D-Man?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, D-Man.
What's going on, man?
I'm checking everybody's audio because I've been getting comments like everybody. We want to keep the audio clean, and
yeah,
I know. Yeah, different people have different, microphones and stuff in their different systems. So I want to work out the bugs. That's why I did this stream.
Level.
Yeah, level.
You just want to level everything. When one person's too loud and one person's too low.
Yeah.
Some people have a so loud that it backs all of the lower volume microphones down, meaning that you just don't hear them, even though your volume is in. You got to jack your volume up, but it's just because there's one person that's insanely overridden every background noise.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the dielectric potential that the universe has with everything?
What do
Any
you mean
opinion?
the
We're talking about the
dielectric?
ether, man. Yeah, we're
Well. The thing about dielectric is like dielectric breakdown of air,
okay. Yes,
right?
but
Okay.
that's
Um,
the magnetic.
okay, that's the amount of voltage needed to spark gap a certain distance,
Mhm.
right? The dielectric breakdown and air is well known and documented. It's supposed to be 30 kilovolts a centimeter, which is way too high. They rate it way too high. Because I play around with a lot of high voltage. I have a 12,000 volt ionizer that can make 1 inch spark gaps,
Nice.
which
I saw what you had. You were playing
yeah,
with the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was telling
yeah, that's just an
you to try to
ionizer.
get it to go through glass. Doesn't work.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Good. or ceramics are probably even better.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
the
an insulator.
dielectric breakdown, it's of glass is way higher. There's a whole table of dielectric breakdown of
You can
materials.
actually get it to arc.
Everything.
You can actually get it to arc around the outside edge of the glass. If you move them up at the same level around the glass, you can get it so that they'll actually arc over the top of it. Curve. Kind of weird.
Everything has a dielectric breakdown. It's just how
much?
how strong it is depending on the material.
How resistant it is to the arc that you're going to do with the current? Yeah. But I mean, you
Yeah.
develop the same current just by friction and anything. Water wheels, hydro plants, and stuff like that. That's where they develop. My dad actually spent like 4 years working for Duke Power. You ever heard of them?
No.
Duke Power supplies your electricity up there, dude. Or either Eastern Carolina. They're the same company. They're
Okay.
one of the biggest power suppliers on the East Coast and the Southeast. Duke Power is
Okay.
like it's one of those monopoly companies. They run all the power
Big
on it in the
ones.
Southeast. So he worked for them. He put together Westinghouse plants. He just engineered them. They were putting up your basic nuclear power plant. That's what it is. They sell like 4 different versions at the time, and they would order different sizes and different kits for whatever they were wanting to build. And they were like Lake Wiley. They wanted to put a nuclear power plant out there. They had to zone it all in. He'd have to go in and he would engineer and put the power plant.
Yeah, their grid infrastructure for North and South Carolina, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get your power. What you're using right now, Chris, that's Duke Power. Just tell it.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Yep. Coming off of probably, if it ain't a coal plant or nuclear plant, it's going to be well, they're all induction.
Yeah.
They're all induction. Even nuclear plants, coal, they have a turbine spinning and inducting voltage.
Mm-hmm. Says that.
But oh, go ahead.
Says collectively own approximately 55,100 megawatts of energy capacity. Its natural gas utilities serve 1.7 million customers in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Ohio, and Kentucky.
It's a big company, dude.
The electric utilities serve 8.6 million customers in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. So they got the market on both, on gas and electric.
Yep. and nuclear too, I think.
If they can't get that out to you, well, that's not a big deal. We also sell gas.
Yep. That's funny.
Yeah.
So I think
what I wanted to say, we were talking about dielectric breakdown before, is that like, okay, that's air. Air is 30 kilovolts a centimeter. Well, whenever you get something like a fluorescent tube, fluorescent lighting or even neon lighting, what they do is they pull the air out of it, and then your dielectric breakdowns, it's minimal. You know what I'm saying? Like you take all the resistance out, and then you have the electric breakdown is minimal.
Well, there's always going to be entropy in any of those circumstances. It's good. There's a trade-off, right? The entropic law will apply to like any transfer of energy, heat, or any I guess any kind of motion in the world. Eventually, it will deplete itself. Now, I don't know. Is there an infinite supply of energy somewhere? Not even in your body. Your consumption actually burns itself out. Is that simple? Yeah. All the systems do fade eventually. I guess.
And
Yeah. Go ahead.
the body, and you were talking about that. Yeah, the body is amazing. It's using 100-watt continuous. Your brain is at 20 watts, and that's continuous. So the joules that you're using throughout the day is I can't remember. It's like it's crazy. It's ridiculous. Thousands of joules or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like, um, yeah, it's very efficient though.
Yeah.
Oh, they also do. The company's investing in major electric grid upgrades and cleaner generation, including natural gas, nuclear, renewables, and energy storage.
Mm.
So
So
battery
What
systems.
Yeah.
what I think's funny is they push LED lights, like switch over to LED, you'll save on your electric bill. Well, if you already use incandescent bulbs in your house these days, your electric bill would be more than your mortgage. Because what they've done is they've increased the rate of their electricity rates, way outpaced the savings in your electricity bulbs. So now you're getting charged the same amount percentage of your income, except now they're serving more people.
Do you think they're actually going to sell you something that's going to save you money?
Well, that wasn't the whole thing with LED lighting. They knew
No,
that
not
the
really.
LED lighting would cause problems. It was just, if you ask me, I've seen the lights on scopes when they put scopes on them.
Yeah.
An LED, I don't know if it's the circuit. I think it's the circuit itself that they use.
Well,
They're
it's
real
basically
dirty.
like a diode, isn't it? It's like that's all.
Yeah, it's a light emitting diode.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So, yeah, it has a little controller on it, basically. Those LED lights, those corn cob lights you used to get back in the early days. You get these lights that look like corn cobs.
Yeah.
They have SMDs all around them, yellow SMDs. You can get them in different temperature. I bought a few when I first started seeing them on like eBay years ago, and they were the most dangerous friggin' things ever. No cap on the top, the exposed circuit board with it, literally. But LEDs are not good to have around you. Now everything is LED. All the car shit's LED or LCD. All the TVs are LED, or they operate at a different hertz. Then the light is not good for you. Incandescent light, that warm incandescent, or like the old, Edison style bulbs. They're the easiest thing. They don't cause eye strain.
Mhm.
It's natural light. It works
I like
at a
that
different.
bulb. It's actually really cool.
It works differently when you're even light attracted onto you. LED's real dirty. I mean, I could probably go deep dive on this, but
Yeah, with the element that Edison, what did he use for his element in his bulbs? He had a patent.
they use like tungsten or something.
Yeah,
Keep
tungsten
them going for a
steel.
long time.
He would strand it around and coil it around.
Those
Yeah.
you can still buy those Edison bulbs, the real ones, this day. They're just insanely expensive.
That's incandescence. It goes into Joule's heating equations.
Yeah. Well,
With
they named it after joules. I mean, that's just an increment. Yeah, but I like to say that nobody really has full control over it. Like that's why we have so many problems with our electrical grids as it is. They're really subject to entropy. A lot of their transformers and stuff, I've watched them over within a decade. They'll burn up. Like yeah.
I think the idea for the LEDs, I don't think there's any benefit to them. I know that the light that comes from LEDs is not real good for you. Incandescent lighting is a more natural spectrum of light. So it's actually better for you in through your eyes, and you're looking through LEDs all the time. It does a lot of eye strain.
I'm looking through LEDs right now. Everything I got in this house, dude.
Yeah.
It's all modernized. It's been remodeled. Everything's got these. They got these square LEDs light on the ceiling. Even my fan light that's above my head right now. It's
everything's LED. It's not like a bulb change.
Me too, man. And my electric bill is still outrageous.
Well, I think they did this so that they could actually bring the rate down, so they take the load off of the station, and then they could raise the fucking amount of money they charge you, so that way you don't. And then that way, if the population goes up and everyone's using crazy insane more power, they're going to build another one.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck this, we'll just make it so that all their output's lower, and we'll just charge them more money, but we can keep the plant going for longer before we have to build something even bigger.
Excuse me. Those smart meters, oh my god, you don't even know what you're paying. I'm choking on this stuff. Sorry. Yeah, those smart meters, they don't. You can't. You have to they don't register like a regular meter does. They literally.
Well.
They just basically charge you a rate.
Here you go. You ready?
Well, but the thing is with an electric meter is that you're not being charged for the electrons. Like there's no electron movement. Like I'm saying, they're not. What they're charging you on is your amperage, how much amperage you're using, because the voltage is, because wattage is amps times volts. Well, we know the volts is 120 volts. So what we're pulling from the circuit, because every circuit in your house fuse box is a 20 amp fuse, so you have 20 amps available for a circuit. It's gonna charge you based on how much amperage you're using.
Yeah, the rate of it.
So it's an ammeter.
Yeah.
Everything you plug in takes electricity, even if it's not on everything.
And
my cable, my
Comcast, I'm plugging all. Sorry, he would go through the whole house every day and unplug everything. Like he do that on a daily, just because he thought he was saving money. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, I mean, everything takes a load, so every piece of equipment. That's why everything has a clock. Yeah. Notice that. Notice everything you buy has a clock on it. The clock's always on. The microwave clock's always on. The
True.
VCR clocks or whatever whatever fucking device thing you got, it's always on. If you take a kilowatt box and plug everything into a kilowatt, even with it off, it's taking juice just to sit there because it's got something running in the background, or it's running an LED, or it's got a clock display, or a sleep mode, or a timer. Everything has got something in it that's taking electricity. It's just
Steve wanted to ask a question. Did they unban incandescent lights? That's what he asked. I don't know.
You can buy them. They're just not the old design that lasts a long time. Like, they're like 3,000 hours and they burn out.
Let's do a mic check. Hey, Mike. Check 1 2.
Hey, greetings.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, hang out in here. I want to talk to you after I go off. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
There's still Edison bulbs from like 150 years ago that still burn.
Yeah. Well, the fire department here has a couple in each one of the fire departments that they keep them on all the time, and they've been on for like 25, 35, 40 years. Yeah.
Here's the dip on LED lighting. It says it's generally safe for most people when used appropriately, but concerns about potential health effects stem from specific characteristics of the light they emit, particularly blue light. It says the primary concerns involve blue light exposure, which can disrupt circadian rhythms by suspending melatonin production, and hormone critical for regulating sleep. So the suppression may lead to sleep disturbances, especially when exposed to bright LED lighting in the evening or at night.
Hey, that says something. They're growing humans, dude.
Well, they're just fucking with you. They're just making you have problems.
Well, one thing I think is pretty amazing. They have horticulture LEDs, the Samsung 301. Because I used to live in Michigan and did cannabis growing because it's recreational legal there. And I used to have high pressure sodium lighting when I started out. And that there was a 600 watt. It was a 600 watt high pressure sodium. Then I upgraded. I got a 500 watt LED light, and it has just as much photon flux density at 500 watts as 1,000 watt high pressure sodium, but without all the heat.
Yeah, without having all the heat emitting off of it. Yeah. Here's the other thing it says. It says this suppression may lead to sleep disturbances, especially when exposed to the light. It says particularly close ranges may contribute to digital eye strain, causing symptoms such as dry-eyed, blurred vision, headaches, and eye fatigue.
And now you're talking.
It says some research suggests that the high-intensity LED light, especially in the blue-violet spectrum, which is 415 to 455 nm could potentially cause oxidative stress and permanent damage to the retinal cells over time. So the light is harmful to be on your skin. The light is harmful to be into your eyes. The light can disturb your sleep just by having an LED. That's why I know that stuff's bad.
What is that like the infrared side of the spectrum? It seems like
I could go look it up.
Yeah,
450 nanometer. I feel like those proximity sensors in your phone when they automatically adjust your brightness. That I'm sure that's shining right in your eyes like the whole time, and you don't even know it.
That's all LED, and it's on the blue spectrum, and it's bad for your eyesight to begin with.
Yeah, it says here that the 450 is right at where the blue, and it starts to go from blue to green. It says the wavelength of 415 to 455 corresponds to violet blue, which is considered high energy, short wavelength that can potentially damage retinal cells, leading to oxidative stress, retinal degeneration.
Check this out.
That's ultraviolet. Then the other side.
This might have something to do with some people are really stupid.
When I had night shift at the factory, I had this artificial light, and you could feel it. I was always tired. I was always not motivated. But yeah, I know this. It's different kind of.
Yeah, I get you.
I was sleeping. I was sleeping in the day, and I was working in the night. So you never get daylight, and you always get this artificial light.
Yeah,
everything's LED.
Yeah, I spent Walmart. I think they swapped over, but when I first worked for them, it's all fluorescent lighting, and that's you're in there 8 to 10 hours a day underneath it.
Beneficial. Here they say beneficial light is from 450 to 500 nm. That's beneficial light. That means that the old incandescent bulbs, they're beneficial, meaning that your body responds to the light on your skin, and it doesn't fuck with your eyes because it's in that higher color range, and it's natural, meaning it's not some emitted LED in some bad range that will fuck with you.
They're making me into zombies, dude. That's what they're doing. They're
I threw a link on the side of the range that shows you the light range.
But I was at the point where I could see it flicker all the time. It flickers like.
Yeah. Well, refresh rate on a lot of these, if you're using a computer monitor, refresh rate on the monitor will actually, you can do the same thing if you're looking at it long enough.
They got something now. They got something now called Li-Fi. It's like Wi-Fi, but they use a lighting, LED lighting, for transmitting signals. It's on-off rate, and
well, that's kind of like what a processor does. Literally, you can read those flashes, especially with the fiber optics stuff. It's basically the same.
Well, it's just a refresh rate. The monitors all have their own base refresh rate. It's in hertz. So, you can, the higher the refresh rate, the higher the ceiling of the frame rate you're going to get.
I'm going to put this
so when you're playing video games, naturally, the higher the refresh, it gets to a point. It gets to a point where you start to feel the lag in the mouse on what you're seeing on the screen.
Well, the weird thing is that the human eyesight can only see 60 hertz or whatever. After that, you can't tell the difference.
Well, it's response. It's response on the monitor.
From your brain notice the difference. If you have.
Yeah, you see it in your eyes. Optically see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Of course, yeah.
If I was to run the same equipment and put it down to say 25 hertz, that caps the frame rate at 25 frames a second. So naturally, the higher the hertz rating of the monitor can go, naturally the higher the ceiling of FPS it's going to go, meaning that you're not going to have any lag from what you're seeing on the screen to how you move your hand on the mouse.
So the lighter the spectrum towards the red, it's actually more beneficial. That's really,
And LEDs range in that 415 to 455, which is that harmful range.
Well, you get a crisper image with them, man. You get a clear image.
Well, it's just a cheap light. Cheap light's low power too. So everything they make, they put LEDs because it takes minimal amount of power to run a single LED or a power LED or
Yes.
An LCD has to have a whole nother board attached to it so that it can, just the actual LCD panel isn't the whole thing. It has a driver behind it.
Yeah, I kind of felt that
I
kind of
was-
like when I was working, and again, even in factories and stuff, and they poorly lit the place with fluorescent lighting and dull dim lighting. It makes you like you're not sharp.
It makes my eye flicker when I walk into Walmart at like fucking way late at night and they have those big LED lights on. It makes my eye flicker like crazy. I gotta put sunglasses on.
Nuts.
True.
It makes me think though, with the human eyes, well, you don't pick it up that anything over 60 hertz. So the dude that actually came up with the speed of light, he set up a wheel and it had gear teeth in it, and he spun it so fast until he couldn't tell that the light was coming through anymore or something. But you can only see 60 hertz. So I mean, I don't know how he did it to begin with.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well I don't know how they got the first they use mirrors, right, on the wheel, and then what they're doing.
He shot like a light through, off of a mirror, and it went back through the gear wheel, and he spun the gear wheel, and the point at which the light stopped coming through, or whatever. That's how we got the speed of light.
Oh, well, it's just timing. They do the same thing in distributors. They do the same thing with a car
But
distributor.
he's relying on his eyes.
Is
for
it the
that,
wave though? I don't know. Is light a wave? I don't know.
Well, they quantified it in particles, waves. What was the other?
Yeah, that's the
Time
problem.
of flight.
They also did stuff too, like gravity.
Well, you need to work on that microphone, boy. Speak into it.
Me?
You, yes. Don't be
Work
shy.
on it?
Step up to the mic.
Sorry.
Come on, yeah. We're doing an audio test. You didn't read the name of the stream? Sound check, man. Sound.
Sound check. How's this
1, 2,
better?
1, 2.
Is this better? I don't know.
Oh, you sound good, Mike. I need to get Ryan to get bolder over there. D-Man,
Oh, okay.
you don't have to worry about him. He has that Howard Stern voice.
It does.
Howard Stern sounds like me.
Oh, there you go. So Howard Stern, you were around probably before Howard. I'll be honest with you.
No, he's way older than me.
Is he? What is
Yeah.
he? Is he in the 70s now? At least
Yeah, he's kind of a dirtbag.
Grandpa
He is.
dirtbag. Yeah.
Kinda.
Well, it was funny a long time ago.
Baba Booey.
Yeah,
I think his show was funny, but he wasn't.
I saw Jackie.
Oh, you did?
modeling from that show. Yeah, I remember Jackie from the old show.
Yeah.
I saw Jackie at a Chinese restaurant in Saugus, Massachusetts. Sorry, me and my friend said, "Guess who's at
Did
the
you ask
Chinese
for
food
autograph?
place on Route 1?" And I was like, "Oh, he goes Jackie modeling." I said, "Get your shoes on, let's go."
I'm pretty sure Howard was hitting on her daily, dude. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, people were screaming at him in the audience. I mean, he does all like dirty jokes and stuff. That's all he does. It's this whole stick.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. And he went and just hung out in the bar, and just people went over and.
Okay, I know
shook
you're
his
talking
hand.
about. I thought you're talking about Robin. Never mind. I got
No,
Robin.
Jackie modeling. Jackie was like
I
the
know
guy who
Jackie.
wrote all
Yeah.
the skits on that show in the early.
Yeah, he'd be on some of the shows, didn't he?
People had T-shirts that said "fuck
Yeah.
Timmy" on the T-shirts and stuff. Oh my god, it was hilarious.
They're just making fun of anything odd, dude. That was
Just mock. Oh, like literally, people were mocking him and stuff, and it was funny. It just he's just such an easygoing guy that he never got angry at anything. Anybody fucking harassed him, or people walk up to him,
What was that noise?
tapping him on,
Oh.
just doing all kinds of shit to him. It was fucking hilarious. It was like hanging with your buddy. You know what I mean? He was just wasn't getting pissed at you.
What was the name of the weirdo, the little black guy with the dental work?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, he'd have
Little guy.
he'd have people like that on there, and then he the clown that he sponsored. What was the name of the clown?
Yucko.
Yucko. Yeah. Yakko. Yeah, but
He
he'd go,
did
he'd go into towns and just make vulgar comments to people constantly. That's
He
all
did
did.
it.
It's
He,
sad that
he
you remember all that.
he was doing videos on Damn Show for this DVD. They had a DVD out called damnshow.com. I think it was an old website's gone. And he goes on all the different, they sent them out. Then they were doing it, I think, through like, I don't know if it was Howard Stern or MTV. Someone was doing something where they was sending them out. And he was in like Las Vegas or something. There's two giant guys standing. They looked Indian or Middle Eastern or something. And
was
he
the
walks up
company
to him and he
name?
says, he says, "You're both twins, huh?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." And he said, "Why did God make two of you?"
Yep, that sounds like Yakko. Yeah, I actually subbed to that whole thing.
I love that. When he was in New York City, he's yelling at all the people going by on the bus with the religious guy on the like street corner preacher in New York City and smack him in New York City. And that's a really good
Did
one.
he carry like a sock and hit people with it? Then he'd
I
go
know.
to like Austin or New Orleans, and he'd go to all the bars and he'd like walk up to some fat chick and he'd say like,
Yeah.
make odd comments. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head, but
How dare you?
He walked up to some mother and some lady and walked up to him and started talking to him. And he leaned into her and he said, "All right, how much for the both of you?"
Yep, I remember that
And I
one.
think the mother
I
looks
could
at
do
him
that.
like,
That's
what?
funny right there. That's funny.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah, but-
but he did it so nonchalantly, and they didn't expect it. And that was his stick. That was what he did. He just come up to you and said things. It didn't matter what it was, or if he, wasn't going to insult somebody, he would just sit and talk to them and just kind of,
make rude side comments and
like
punchline
he just
out
throw
of it.
side comments into him the whole time, get you to
They
laugh.
work some kind of dark psychology into it to where you ended up.
Yeah, man, I mean-
he made you look
Well,
like an
Howard
ass.
didn't Howard try to play Cupid with him? He tried to set him up with one of the girls on the
Yeah,
set there.
he was like-
Didn't work
He
out.
had a
either.
Yeah, dude, I used to listen to that show back in the day. It was good. It was good a long time ago. It was funny.
Yeah, nobody was really doing that in the 80s, man. Nobody was.
Yeah,
like,
when I was in my 30s, yeah. But
Yeah, it gets old. After a while, you're like, all right, yeah, this is kind of fucking
so
tired.
whatever happened to Yucko? We should find out.
He's still around.
Buttman was like a
He's
little
doing some
extreme, I
TV
think.
show.
Oh, nice. Let's see.
He's like a director. He works with some kind of TV thing. I think I saw his name on some other thing that was on
Yeah, he's
on
some
the internet a while ago.
Irish dude from Boston, isn't he originally?
No,
like-
I think he's from like Ohio or somewhere.
He's a Midwestern boy.
Yeah, don't think
Ooh,
I can look it up. I bought the damn show DVDs. I don't know what they are. I haven't seen them in ages. But
Yeah,
I bought.
I didn't buy them, but I watched them on late night, and they would come on TV late at night. Back when he first started promoting them, and you could buy them. They had a little number you could call, buy the VHS or DVD with uncut scenes from New Orleans where Yucko's down in the red light district drinking.
oh my God.
He
Yeah,
walked up to a
when
big.
you're in echelons like this guy, these are different. He was picked on a lot of times. I know. That's what I.
Yeah, that's the psychology you get up. But the thing is, we went straight from Ether to Howard Stern and Yakko.
Yeah, Yucko the
Yeah.
Clown.
He is the
Yeah,
Ether.
this is
He
definitely-
retired Yucko the Clown character in 2013, so he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, the suit got too piss stained.
I just
It does, doesn't it?
Roger Black is the guy's name.
Well, they let you change your underwear.
Oh no! If you spend your days or weekends or your whole day, weeks going around from big city to big city, hitting the bar scene, and you're going to be drinking a lot. So I mean, I don't think you're really worried about your underwear.
Well, that was his whole stick. It was supposed to be like the dirty, drunken clown who would say inappropriate shit. That's all it was.
He'd find a street entertainer like one of the mimes or one of
He
the
just
human
he just
statues.
had the sack to do it.
Really?
He just had the sack to do it. If it wasn't
Pretending you're
him, they
drunk
would have
is
found
the
another guy.
greatest cover for insult ever.
the clowns.
Well, oh sure. Well, no, drunk guy, drunk.
drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, you pretend like you're drunk, then people they'll just ignore you. They'll just be like, he's drunk.
Yeah,
Let him-
they'll
let him
Look at
talk.
Constantly
who was,
belligerent. Yeah.
who was the other guy from the Dean Martin era there? The one that used to come on there, Foster Brooks. Foster Brooks was like the
Foster
infamous drunk.
Oh, didn't Don Rickle play a drunk most of the time? Or no, it was Dean Martin. That's who played.
Who was the guy on Mayberry RFD? That was Andy.
Otis.
No.
Otis.
Otis.
Yeah.
Otis.
Always
I
in
mean,
the drunk tank, dude. Yeah.
He was typecast from that. I mean, he did other things before that, but he was typecast as Otis the Drunk forever for the rest of his life
Because of one show. Dude. But I mean,
because
that
of
show,
one TV show.
how long did it run? Though? It was like a decade at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
in the 60s.
It's like the Waltons. How long did that thing run?
What is that? What is in your background, D man? I can't tell. What is it? Just like a bunch of colored dots?
It's a record cover, dude.
Yeah.
I know,
it's a-
but which one is it? Because I know there's a bunch of record covers that look like
He'll
that.
tell you all about it. Yeah.
I can't see it though.
Oh, it's music you'd hate. It's just an old record
Doesn't
that I
matter.
listen to.
I was just curious, like
Music-
because it reminds me of a 21 Pilots album too. There's one that has a similar type of design on it. It looks kind of like a manhole cover kind of.
Well,
That's
that's a whole bunch of little pictures.
It's actually a frequency symbol, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Those are a whole
Yeah,
bunch
it's a-
of little pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of little pictures that have a shrunken head in the middle. It's an old record cover.
You can't even see it.
I'll put it in the chat so you can go look.
Yeah.
It
I
said
can't,
that
can't bring them up big on here. It's a different setup. in
said
Google.
it aired from
Yeah, well, even if you did, I don't think
1960.
it would be very big on my phone. My screen's only like 8 inches long or something.
The only options it gives me when I click on your icons is to remove you from the call or don't watch. So I can block
Yeah.
what your video says.
Either block you or kick your ass.
Yeah.
Uh,
So let's say you go into a Google Meets and you're at home and you hit your camera and you're actually still in your underwear at a business meeting. So the boss can have the option to like block the video. Like, you don't want to see that, or
Well,
we get, it'd be good for porn bombers when they come here. And
I think that's what we need in our society is like some shock treatment, like
Do we?
some real shit happening. Like people really getting pissed off and doing something about the crap they're sick of, and people actually getting hurt over it. I think that will wake people the fuck up.
how are you going to do that? Yeah,
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just saying it.
Well, then
when it finally
then
does
I tell you
happen,
what.
it'll be
there it is.
it'll be bad.
He put it in the back for you there, Ryan. If you want to see what it looks like,
Hold on, I'm trying to
I'll
find it.
put it up on the screen. Let's see if I can.
Hold on. I can look at it if you put it in the back.
I don't see it in there. I see Ryan saying "laugh out loud."
It's even smaller back here.
Oh yeah, Google Meets ain't big at all.
Holy
Don't put
shit,
it on
that's
the.
a long link.
I can let
Like-
participants send messages,
It's
but
like
I
how
already
many
have it.
pages is that fucking thing, dude? Like imagine having to type that out.
Don't play it. I just put it in there for Ryan in the back. If you just click it open, you'll see the actual picture in
There
pretty
you go.
big.
Yeah, here, I'll click on it. I can put it up on
I
the big
click on
screen.
it. Yeah.
It's one of those angle cubes. It's how they show all the angles of the cubes. I forget what the drawing
I'll
is.
share it with everybody so they can see it.
It's kind of cool looking, but I don't
Oh.
understand the picture in the middle.
Sunny.
Yeah. Don't play it though.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just going to put it up on the screen so everybody.
Wow. Awesome.
Here,
Now
I'm
I see that it's not as
not as crazy as you thought it was.
not as interesting as I thought it was, but
The album cover caught me when I was a kid. I looked at it and I was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." It's like it's every angle of the cube that you could do.
It looks like
Illustration.
well, not every
City
angle, but
grid.
everyone you could possibly your mind can imagine anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
it's the tilts and all the
Well,
angles of it.
I think it's more. Well, I'm just guessing, but I always thought that pictures like that were deliberate, so that they're like for artists that like to learn how to draw.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
having a chord
Yeah, angles.
part on the wall if you're a guitar player, right? Like if you draw like shapes and
Yeah.
you're an artist, then that's something you can look at so you can see what the angles are supposed to look like, right?
So what's the number one? What law is actually the principle here? What's the number one thing you're seeing? Think about it. It's perspective, man.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean,
you
you're
look-
looking at it at an angle, and you got to think about it. What angle would it be moving at if I was relative to,
Yeah.
I am in my position. I see that at that angle. If I move over to here, how's it look? Like look over the top of it. That's all it is. It's angle.
Is Nathan
Yeah,
in the chat?
Have you ever taken an art class before, like
You
in high
need the
school?
feeling
or-
point.
I did.
Yeah, I went to College of Art.
Do you remember what they taught you
Yeah.
and how to draw?
Yes.
We made
I-
paper.
Yeah, and a
We
pencil.
made paper like literally
Or
with pulp
HB
and
or-
ran it through screens, and we printed. We even made our own paper. We did everything.
And
Now you don't even have to draw. You can just type it into a computer and it'll make it for you.
yeah. That's because people are lazy.
Yeah, we made
No,
it.
I still want to be able to draw that well, but it takes me a long time. Like it'll take me weeks to draw something beautiful. Like, because I'll keep erasing it and redrawing it over and over and over again. until it's-
I went-
Quarter-inch graph paper.
Yeah, I went into painting. I learned how to paint landscapes. That was
Painting is hard.
what I did. I did a Bob Ross kind of thing. But I actually incorporated my imagination into it, and I would add other elements.
You have to.
Learn how to do it.
Because you have to like think about like what the paint's going to look like after you've mixed it and then painted over itself. You know what I mean? It's like
I have
painting is
like
different.
I have a gallery of some sorts. Not like you saw the Chet gallery I showed you, D-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too dark. Yeah, my paintings are
What
kind
is
of like
amazing
that.
about paintings is like from a distance they look so like lifelike, and then as you get closer to them, you realize it's
Yeah, whatever
painting,
you
and you're like,
whatever you just did right now, Ryan, it made your sound better. You're moving around.
I know.
Right?
No, I put it on speakerphone so that way
Okay.
you can
There you go.
turn the volume.
No, we'll leave it on the speakerphone. You sound better than you do on your headphones.
Oh, yeah, I know. I should always do that, but I can't. I mean, it is 2:00 in the morning, and I'm screaming in my backyard, so you can hear me good. But
I don't care.
no big deal.
Are
My
you
wife
waking the
won't.
neighbors up? Are you?
Well, I mean, not like they don't wake up anyway, but they're old people. You know, us old people don't sleep anyway.
You don't sleep anymore. Well,
we sleep, but you know how it is. Something small will wake us up, and then we're up again. We're up again for another 8 hours. It's like
you're wondering what happened, what woke you up, how'd you get there, and then something else catches you.
I crashed out earlier. I couldn't stay awake. I was like, hell with this. I'm going to lay down. And I crashed right out. So that's why I'm awake. I'll probably go back to sleep another hour or two.
For some reason, I sleep better during the day. I don't understand that, but like as long as it's a dark room during the day, having all that noise in the background actually makes me sleep better. If I'm in a room where it's really quiet and there's any kind of other noise, it'll drive me insane. I won't be able to sleep right. But I used to be able to sleep during a shitstorm.
Being on call,
you know,
being on call for 16 straight years basically made me be able to sleep anywhere at any time. Didn't matter what I was in. Didn't matter where I was.
Graveyard made me able to sleep anytime.
Just didn't make a difference.
One day I'll dig up my paintings and I'll show them. They're different. I actually did a couple of dark novel style paintings too. I got inspiration from a few of my daughter's favorite authors that did dark novels back in the 2000s, I think. You ever heard of a guy named Jonas Vasquez?
No.
Well, he did it. He got one of his cartoons got on like Cartoon Network. It was called Invader Zim. You ever heard of it?
Yeah,
no.
I've heard of it.
Never? You've heard of it, Ryan? Invader Zim?
Yeah, I heard. I don't know. I don't remember the characters, but I've heard the name. Yeah, I've heard it.
There's this group of aliens on this one planet who they get assigned their own planet, then they go in and they become villains on that planet, and they have to destroy each planet. So Invader Zim gets sent to Earth, and he's here to destroy the Earth and kill off all the.
Yeah, isn't it like a creepy looking, like a creepy big-headed character? Right?
Yeah.
Like a floating head or something creepy.
He's not a floating head, dude. He just got a
or
big
whatever
head.
it is. It's like this out of proportion head to body thing.
Yeah, it's basically insect because they had antennae and big eyes, so they modeled the alien after insects. So
you know what's funny about this is that there's like literally 50 different TV shows and different kinds of things that are about an alien that comes down and has to live with people. It's just so funny, and some of them are actually good too.
Sounds like Israel.
Huh?
Sounds like Israel.
Israel? Well, Israel's got their financial ties and everything. That's why they're so interested in everything. They're more interested in what they can make off of whatever, you know.
Well, what if you had an aliens versus like demons or?
Yeah, there's cartoons like that.
Well, that's what demons are.
I never watched stuff like that.
That's Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah, I was never into any of that shit.
You
know what Dragon Ball Z is about? I was just going to ask you guys if you ever watched
Angels.
When I was a kid, it was robots. Everything was robots. Everything on TV was robots.
Those are my favorite aliens, man. Transformers. If I were to pick a
Transformers are the coolest aliens, and GoBots. GoBots were cool too.
There you go.
Autobots.
Even though GoBots were kind of like
I used to buy these models. I used to buy these models called StarTech, and it was these big robot things that you could buy and huge, like a foot tall.
Yeah. I had
plastic models that were cool back then. Like,
yeah, I had some like that. Man, you remember the Shoguns?
Yeah, it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah. Shogun, and there was a couple other ones too. I can't remember the names of them.
StarTech models. Hold on, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I remember there used to be a model that you could buy, and you glue them together, and then it would still transform. But it was like this. It was like this jet plane that turned. That had arms and shit and legs. It was really trippy. I remember I bought this. My grandma bought it for me once. She was trying to buy me like some name brand stuff, but got the other stuff wrong because my grandma isn't very smart.
Your grandma wasn't very smart.
I'm a flat earther.
Not when it came to like knowing like He-Man. She bought me like 5 He-Man guys, and then she bought me a bunch of other characters that don't go with.
Don't worry, it's go on.
Oh, it was Robotech.
Yeah. Robotech.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Robotech was cool.
There you go.
Chris chimed in with he's a flat earther. What are you going to say, Chris?
Oh man, I liked some of these science fiction movies for like Star Wars, Transformers. Like I don't believe in dinosaurs either, but me and my son we love Jurassic Park, like that trilogy with Chris Pratt.
Well, yeah, that has ties here to Denver. Actually, the Natural Museum of Sciences and the curator, what's his name? he actually he consulted Jurassic Park, made tons of money off of it. And as soon as they got done doing it, they went over and they got Sue, which is their big T Rex here at the Natural Science Museum here in Denver. And
Yeah.
they independent paleontologists got to examine the bones, and they found out it had soft tissue in it. They put it in a mild acid solution, and some of them dissolved, and they actually pulled tendon and stuff out of it. It was soft tissue, not just bone. So they're not real
No,
bones.
it wasn't.
So,
It wasn't
no,
what they said it was.
it's not a fossil. It's not a bone either.
It's just like a dead cow or something like that.
Oh,
that
they
cut down. And,
probably made
whatever.
it that Wu Hang Chinese
you gotta remember, there
factory.
was a time where there was gummies all around the corner. Like they would literally go around in little wagons, and gypsies would sell people crap like little bottles of cologne or whatever, or water from the river, and they tell them that it was some kind of special elixir. It was going on like that for years and years, and people just fell for the dumbest shit. Nowadays they're so brainwashed, they don't even know they're getting sold anything dumb. They don't even realize their whole house is full of junk they don't ever use. I've got a whole house full of it too. I know.
And we got a bunch of Kiwis in the audience tonight. Now they're Australians pretending to be Kiwis. Never mind.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just trying to say, what do you got back here, D-Man?
That's that Robotech model that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I went and found it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to be quiet.
it's all right. I'm
well,
trying to get.
I had the Japanese version.
Trying to get to a
of
point.
Robotech.
I'm making a point with the whole. I think it's not Huxley. It's God, what? Jack Horner. That's this guy's name. Jack Horner, the curator. But he consulted on Jurassic Park, and there's a lot of money involved in evolution and getting the public to believe in dinosaurs.
Yeah.
There's a group of
Because
creationists
sell
who actually,
books to colleges, dude.
yeah,
Think about it.
yeah. Well, they write the damn curriculum to begin with. It's not the point. The point is, in a court of law, what they're trying to do is prove that they were committing fraud. So there's a Christian group, Young Earth Creationists, that are suing the Science Museum here and Jack Horner, and they got involved with Bob Enyart somehow. I have no idea how.
Wow. Are you surprised?
No, but everybody, I found out here that the Benet Ramsey, the one they keep talking about within that group, how that was the whole thing was a fraud, and how they arrested the wrong person, and whoever unalived themselves in the process they needed justice. You know, they're all involved with Will Duffy,
Nothing's gonna happen.
Bob Enyart. Yeah, I know, but they'll raise a stink about it. They did. They're like, that's not right.
Mark Sargent's name will come up in there too.
Mm-hmm. I did go online and did a search on Mark after Chris, you brought him up the other day, and he's worth about $5 million.
I told you.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Did you get a chance to watch
not him,
Mark
it's
Sargent
Chris
Origins, the
Sargent.
MGTV Mark Sargent Origins?
Yeah, I didn't get to watch all. I watched some of it. I lost the link to it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Metatron stuff, man.
Yeah, let's take a look at.
But I learned about that after I went to Flattoberfest and met him in real life.
Mhm.
But I still appreciate him because he's the one that showed me God, and I never gave up my connection on him. So in a way, I don't hate him, or because of that Metatron and him being a implant and all that. I actually appreciate him because without him, I probably would never have my connection that I have with God.
Oh, yeah, I'll never lose my connection with God. But here's the Robotech. Look at that.
Yeah, good old Robo.
God.
Back in the day.
Revel, yeah. Revel.
I don't know
too.
where I was buying them. I might have been buying them at like Kmart or
Yep.
one of the
Yeah.
local
Target.
stores.
Target's where we got them.
Dude, that's a model set. That's a Revell.
Yeah, it's plastic.
The Revel, yeah.
Plastic model. You put it together, it's like
And they were
12
fucking
inches.
badass too, dude. If you
can
paint
pose them
with
and
nose, they
paint
look so
them.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get sticker kits online and put different sticker kits on them and buy all kinds of shit and through the mail.
I have
No
a-
online anything.
I have something like that. I got a Metal Gear set that you model you got to put them together. It's the T800. It's Terminator. Yeah.
I used
It's
to
the
love all
original
plastic
Terminator,
models and stuff. I
Yeah.
always loved talking
Well, the
about
still
stuff.
one's harder to
Cars.
put together. You got to crimp it. It's
My
like
favorite models are those little metal models that are made out of like little microscopic.
Yeah.
Thin
Yeah, little
pieces of metal
die
and
cast
fold
parts.
them. Things are cool.
Yeah, I built a lot of the Revell models, like cars and stuff, when I was a kid. Play with that
Yeah.
glue, dude. Model.
Your models would be my favorites, yeah.
The models and drew and fucked around with electronic stuff, built stuff, little radio kits and amplifiers and Radio Shack used to sell these books you could buy through the mail.
Heath kits were the shit, bro. But I never got one. I still.
Heathkit was way before my time.
I think they still sell them, but they call them something different now. I think the company sold out or something.
Radio Shack had these old books that you could buy that were in print forever, even when I was a kid in the 80s.
I still see them around once in a while at libraries and shit.
You could order these books, Roger, through the mail, and basically they were like project books and would tell you, you know, size board to buy, what all the components were, and you could build stuff, little audio amps and you know, little clock radio things, and you know, just all kinds of little stupid circuits, output circuits and conversion circuits, you know, for different DC voltages. So you can do one side, you know, plug a 12 volt in, and then drop the output down, you know, all kinds of converters and stuff. Fucking.
Oh dang! That comment I was talking about earlier on Flatzoid's channel about Ether. Glenn Souch, he's in our chat quite a bit. He's like, do you have a sample of the so-called Ether? He's like, and then he commented again. He's like, superfluids don't have resistance; they flow without friction. Because I said earlier that they can come back and say, well, superconductors, they have no resistance because that's the only thing without it. But I just wanted to point that up. I'm already getting.
I get you. Yeah, I understand.
Opposition.
You're not getting opposition.
Superfluid shit doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, well, what you're looking for is they're looking for actual a tangible description of what ether is, instead of just like, oh, it's the big thing, you know, because that's what it was purported.
Well, like I said, with the magnetism, you can show that with ferrofluids or with iron shavings, and take a piece of paper over magnet and iron shavings. But you can't do that with the electricity side. You can't. That's why they use hydraulic analogy to begin with, which they've taken literal. And the same thing, ether. Like, you can't really like bottle it up. It's something that you remove. It's all pervasive. Yeah. Like it's like in a fluorescent bulb. You take all the air and everything out, all that dust, humidity, everything that's in air.
You're not going to be able to do that though. In reality, there's no way to take everything out of the air. You know, like you're not going.
No, but if you put it down to a certain amount, then it'll make the bulb.
Right. Well, the daylight, it works between 1,000th of atmospheric pressure and 1,000th, and that's where the stratosphere is. And that's what we have. So there is a little bit of gas that'll influence, like in neon lights. You don't need the mercury and all that in fluorescence. In a neon light, all you need is just a little bias of gas, 1/1000th of a massive gas in there. It'll influence the color. That's all.
Who has? I've seen like 3 or 4 people demonstrate that with just a small vacuum tube and the small amount of gas, and just as soon as they charge it, it automatically emits light. Pretty cool.
But the thing is that the ether is the medium that's being. That's what I'm saying. The ether is the medium.
What you got? So ether is just the air, pretty much, like pure air or pure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Pure air. There is gases in the air, like in your lighter, your butane.
You know what air is?
Like,
you guys know what air it is?
There's humidity. There's dust, dirt.
Well, one at a time.
When you send a scuba diver down with a tank, he's got air in it. You don't have pure oxygen. They just take air out and stick it in his tank.
Yeah, because it compresses.
That's what we breathe.
You need a transmitter, you know, and that's what is in the atmosphere. You need a transmitter, and you also have to repeat the information because it gets weaker.
Yeah,
so,
that's
I have repeater and transmitter. You know, that's why you need that.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is,
light doesn't go forever.
Ether is a conductor, and when you add these particles of matter, it displaces the ether and makes it more resistant. So the dielectric breakdown of air, there's more to wiggle around and get through to make the circuit. So there's a higher,
less resistance.
Yeah. All energy.
So that will be your definition of ether. So what you need to do, you need to tell people, hey, my definition of ether is that you take all the impurities out of the Atmo
I thought the
and
ether was like an electronic field. It wasn't even like it
dude,
wasn't like
dude. There's so many people have been trying to put a definition on ether for like the last probably 300, 400 years in modern times. Before it, people just believed it was there. Okay,
I thought
They were-
ether was just ethyl alcohol. That's what I thought ether was. And
yeah,
then-
with the chemical ether that you actually can cook with,
Right.
and that,
Yeah, right.
that's
Ethyl
different.
alcohol,
No,
the thing that
that's
gets you
not-
drunk, right? Yeah.
That's not the ether.
They
you're
used to call it
talking about.
ether. They used to give it to you right before
They put you under, like in.
They
hospital
still
or
do,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
But they
That's
knew
not
that.
the same, dude. Not the same ether you're talking about, dude.
I understand that, but I'm saying that's why at first I was
It
confused.
but then when it was explained to me that it's AE, it's AETHER.
Well, I spell it EFER.
Yeah, okay.
Ether. Anyways, no, it was actually on the table of elements at one point in time. It was one of the major elements. on
Yeah, I
there.
understand that, but not in my time anyway. But I
No,
heard
no.
that. Yeah,
And phlogiston was the reason things burned.
yeah, I know. Phlogiston is the funniest thing in the world. The first time I heard about that, and it was there was like a serious explanation of it. I was cracking up. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
No, people
This is what
adhere to
happened."
that.
They're like, "Really?"
I think in the 1600s, 1700s, it was actually known. I think up until the
It didn't make
1800s,
any sense,
phlogiston
though.
was like known.
How could it be scientific if it doesn't
much
make any
much
sense?
further past,
Uh,
much more past. And people always understood how to transfer information over long distances.
Yeah.
There's no other way how they could build these buildings all around the world at the same time and everything. There, of course, they had
Yeah.
something to transfer.
Religious influence.
I'm sure about.
There were
But what
head
you guys got to
scientists that
realize is
actually
that your
preached it.
brain,
Yeah.
when you think, you're actually thinking a frequency, and if you could hear that frequency, you could actually listen to your head.
Okay,
listen to
so
what-
Brian, what is a thought?
A thought is an actual frequency. It's an actual. It's like a pattern of light or a pattern of sound.
So you've got a thought right now, right?
Yeah.
Are
I
you-
do believe. Now, I don't necessarily believe that you could make a machine that could read it, but I believe that because I've read people's mind before.
I think
I
God.
know it
Me
sounds crazy,
personally-
but I'm telling you, I've read some people's mind, and
They still can't explain it. Neither can I. But
I'm just telling
My
you.
thought is I don't have a thought.
There you go. He's drawing a blank.
I have a thought on this.
Okay,
I do.
He's a thought on. It. There you go. Sorry.
I think that your mind is separate from your brain. Your mind and your body are two different things.
Well, of course.
Like when you go into dreams, your mind can take you places that your body can't.
how do
Like
you know that? How
and
do you
they-
know when you're
they-
dreaming and when you're not?
Okay,
How do you know you're
well,
not dreaming
they have
right now?
EKGs. They have EKG, right? They hook up to your head and get, they do the electrical frequency coming off your brain. And there's different stages, and they call REM your dream stage. But really, to me, it's like the only reason you remember the REM is because it's at the very top at the awake frequency. When you're in deep sleep, to me, that's where the real dreams happen, but you can never remember them. People have a hard time remembering dreams
Yeah.
because it's almost like your brain's like RAM or something. Like you got to give it time to boot up for the memory to be stored. So if you're deep sleep and you have them times where, because your brain, it'll go up and down, it'll go almost to 0 hertz in deep sleep. But I think your mind wakes your brain up to come back up, because it's like starting a car. If your battery dies, you can't start your car
Right.
again. So
Yeah. It's like
your mind's there
We're good.
keeping your brain up, and when you have the near death experiences, like when you die in your sleep
Wait for your life.
and you wake up and you're like, yeah, I remember that. I just hit the pavement and I died and I woke right up. It was scary as hell, and I woke up sweating. It's because your mind said, wake up, get up now. You're almost at 0 hertz, and it's just a way to get your brain.
Well, yeah,
back in
when you're
frequency,
sleeping, your
but
brain
I
is
had-
just storing oxygen, right? You okay? So what
You mean is the
You ever
ether?
see
Ether is
Inception with-
basically the kinetic, the ability for all of us to use the air around us in order to manipulate shit. Basically, what you mean, right?
in simpler terms, like layman's more terms?
I'm just saying that the ether is what everything is within. It's the all pervasive, incompressible,
The empty space.
conductive
where,
medium
like-
that
Right.
The
is
glue.
everything, all matters within, because everything on Earth, it's a very thin system, only 32 miles I'm talking about. And
I
everything
still think the
that's
ether is
material
water.
wise, that all the life, carbon, biology, everything is right here in this very tiny 1.2 mile area between the Earth's surface and the bottom of the
Yeah,
clouds.
exactly.
It's a teeny
Right.
tiny little bitty spot that has all this matter and resistance, and there's a potential gradient. There's a voltage potential gradient in the atmosphere, and it increases as you go up.
Mm. Yeah.
See,
I don't understand entropy very well because I think the sunlight itself, we don't know where it comes from, right? We can't explain it, but we know it just keeps coming in here. But it's obviously a source of light. And if we actually just use sunlight, we could actually power everything in the world if we wanted to.
Well,
We don't even need
you don't understand what they're talking about when they
solar
say
panels. Supposedly, we could
get a
everything could be
little
powered.
closer to the mic,
Yeah.
Ryan, because you're like you keep going in and out. So this is what I'm trying to work on. Come a little closer to the mic.
My phone's just sitting in the same spot on my lap as it's been since I started talking.
Yeah, but your volume keeps going up and down, dude. Like you're like, are you sitting up, or are you laying back, or
No.
huh? Okay,
Or maybe it's the volume. Maybe it's
The noise
See,
level
right
coming from the
there.
speaker.
You went up a couple octaves almost. It's like
It's hitting his code. It's hitting his code or something.
yeah, it's like you get muffled by something.
It's probably
hear it.
the background blocker or whatever that's in.
You got it on.
Yeah,
Anyways,
obviously
yeah,
it's on.
to ether and back again. We should write a book, and we could name all the properties ether has. All right. I'll start working on a transcript tomorrow. I need citations. We're going scientific.
Oh man, I hope they're ready.
There
Yeah,
ain't
no.
going to be any. You're going to have to cite yourself on this.
Yeah, no, there ain't no citations on flat Earth hardly at all. If you have to go way back, but they'll say they're all superstitions or folklore. Or, the science has debunked it all already. God, you got to get on board with the mainstream. So,
When you sleep, you
ain't
go
debunked
into
it,
REM
sir.
sleep. It says brain activity is intense with fast low voltage, desynchronized electroencephalogram patterns similar to those seen during wakefulness, including theta waves in the hippocampus and gamma waves in the cortex. The stage is most closely associated with vivid dreaming, with up to 80% of dreams occurring during REM sleep.
And if you don't remember your dreams, how do
That's
you know
what
they're not manipulating you while you're asleep?
That's still a theory. The REM sleeping, dreaming is only because their test subjects only remember their dream coming out of REM. But it's known that people can dream in every stage of sleep.
It says that psychological changes during REM
Yeah,
sleep
I can dream when I'm awake, dude.
includes increased heart rate and blood pressure, regular breathing, elevated core temperature, and reduced skin temperature.
Yes, your
So
Well,
brain
they
is
think
getting
too that REM sleep is because your brain is on the more active state, so you're actually able to think and create these dreams while it's active. Is what they're pointing towards.
It says the body suspends central homeostasis, including fluctuations in respiration,
I think it's because they took a
thermoregulation,
godly eternal being and stuffed it
and
into the
circulation
body.
not seen in other sleep or waking states.
I've heard of this. I've heard of REM sleep, and they say that it's more vivid during REM sleep because it's so close to when you're on the edge of consciousness between sleep.
You
and
spend 8 hours of your
wake.
life in it.
I get the premise, but I don't know what this has to do with the ether. But we could add that to the book. All right.
There you go.
Well, actually, it should have a lot to do with it because if what you're saying is true, and then everything can be like understood by thinking or some kind of wave pattern or whatever, then we just need to figure out how to activate if that third eye that's in our head actually can pick up those waves and read them. In other words, we should be able to talk to each other without using words.
Well,
That make? I mean, if you think about it, the fact that we still text message each other is just it's ridiculous. It's the most primitive way to have a conversation. It takes like 10 times longer than it does to just say a handful of words and be done.
I know, but
You know what I'm
you're attached to that device on purpose. You know.
Yeah, but like I said, it's deliberate. Like, when you have any conversation with anybody and you're not doing it like one-on-one, then you're literally just wasting time. Because I'll sit there and I'll write 4 paragraphs and then I'll delete half of it and start over before I send it sometimes. But when I'm talking, I'll just say shit because I can think and I can.
Well,
talk at the
you
same
can't
time,
talk
but-
across the continent, dude. Try it.
No, but when you're texting something, you have to write down all the thoughts and all the patterns so that someone understands what you're saying. It takes a lot longer to explain it. You get what I'm saying? And so you
Yeah.
spend a lot of time sitting there trying to make sure that the person understands what the fuck you're saying to them, because you're not listening to me say it. So you're not thinking, oh, he's just joking around, or oh, he's being serious, right? Because there's no way
That's
to
very
do that.
true,
without
Ryan, yeah.
explaining it.
Ryan, don't worry about it.
I know.
Elon Musk will have a chip soon for you.
For you.
can just,
Yeah, you don't have to
just
do
plug it
nothing.
right in, and you can
I was
just.
going to say that's what I
Right.
need. I want to plug in.
Well, doesn't the other guy? What's the other one? The little other nerd, Zuckerberg.
little-
He's already got Meta working, doesn't he?
Nerd.
There you
Yeah.
go. You should just be able to put the socket on the side of your neck. And
There you
just
go.
plug it in.
They've already got video games
Right.
on
You
Sega.
just- You could just bother Roger all day long. Hey, Roger, what are you doing? Roger, what are you?
I don't want to think with Brian in my head. No. I had to unplug from the Matrix.
The Cookie Monster. He knows.
Oh yeah.
Who you talking to? Oh, I'm talking to Cookie.
Once I get used to
We have a
it, once I get to know you,
27.
you'd
We
be
have a
surprised what I call it.
24/7 neurological connection.
Next thing you know, I'm doing an Inception. I'm falling into one of his dreams. Like, what am I doing in here?
Dude, I believe you could do that. I believe you can get pulled into that shit. But you know what? I'm not even going to waste my time trying to explain to you why I think it could happen and how it would work, because I don't know. All I know is that it's just a theory in my head, and I just think that.
Just buy a
Possibility.
CB radio.
Yeah, there you go.
But only because somebody said
Ham
something
it up.
about it, right? They brought it to life. They said, "Hey, what if this was what was really going on?" I was like, "Wow, that's fucking crazy. That would make a lot of sense." You know, like. that would
Yeah.
make
This has turned out to be a hell of a sound check. We've got through existential conversations left.
Going everywhere.
No. But
I
we
could
need
break down
platforms.
down the way your brain thinks and make you go, "What?"
You can?
Like,
I would love you
yeah,
to
I've
see
read
you
a couple of books, dude. I could just read you a couple of paragraphs out of a book, and you just be like, "Holy fuck!" You think
Ryan,
about
you
it.
want to know why?
Why?
Gravity.
Oh, there you go.
Gravity. That's why, because it pulls
No,
on your brain.
but it's very
You know, they
important.
say that
have platform where
the
you can
moon has
speak
its
out,
own
you know.
gravity, right?
That's
And that
very
it pulls on
important. You
lunatics
don't
and
get
it makes
muted,
people
or
crazy.
you don't, get overtalked all the time, and
Yeah, I know what you
that's very important. And that's why we need platform like this. What is Roger is putting out, that's why this is important, that everybody can speak out and nobody gets muted. That's very important.
Well, we don't nobody get muted, but it depends on what you're saying too. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you can share
We're
your
all
thoughts.
thinking at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
how it is.
I'm not going to
Muted.
censor you if that's what you think, but no.
Well, yeah, no.
No.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for
We
certain.
will talk later, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll talk. Heart and Earther says, "I bet I played on an island. Did you? Which island did you play on? In another world, another dream. Imagine if all that were true. If you were actually a combination of different consciousness over a period of time, got combined into ether somewhere, and you got put into a womb somehow
what?
through an
I've heard it
electroshock.
said that you're
Hey, don't
God's
resist
consciousness.
God. I talk about resistance. Don't resist God.
Oh well, this has been fun.
Imagine if you were God and you could create things out of nothing just by speaking the words. Imagine how bored you'd get, how quickly.
Yeah.
So imagine God's done all kinds of crazy stuff just to make himself interested, right?
Gotcha.
That's
So
why we are
think
here.
about that, though.
Well-
He's obviously a very intelligent, very, very crafty being, and he can do lots of things. So obviously he thinks on a level that'll just make your brain flip, right? So just imagine, you think that it's all important about this little section that he gave you and allows you to understand and see. Like, he only allows you to see certain frequencies of light, certain sounds. Everything else is just noise to you, or it doesn't exist, right? But
Okay.
the reality is he gave you his own thought patterns. He gave you the ability to think like him and understand things like he does. Not just be on your own, not just break the rules, but he gave you the ability to think like he does.
Oh, did he?
So in a way, he kind of gave you some of his power so that you can use that power in order to become conscious and become a real
I
person and
wish
have
you
an
would
experience.
consciously tell me what the friggin' winning megabucks is.
There you
tomorrow.
go. That'd be nice.
Yeah, right.
Do me
No,
a favor.
If
You know what this sounds like? It sounds like Taoism. It's like Brahma. He created everything, and he put pieces of him in everything, and throughout his.
Well, I'm not saying I believe in theory. I'm just saying.
No, this is a Buddhism, man. It's really what Taoism.
I've heard about Buddhism. I heard about drawing lines in the sand and all that kind of
Well, not just
crap.
drawing lines in
Pretty
the
fun.
sand. No, he put himself in everywhere. He's always searching for himself, and when he finally finds himself, he'll find out why he exists. You know,
But
like
see, it doesn't
They got
make
a
sense
pretty
that you're
cool
God.
flood
But if
story
God,
in Taoism.
but if God got lost in his own creation, he wouldn't be a million different beings at once. That doesn't make any sense.
you don't get what the whole point behind that is, do you?
It doesn't
Some
make any
things are
logical sense.
better not thought about. I don't know.
No, basically, you're on your journey and you're
But I know
finding
what
out
God
who you
knows.
are.
I don't know what
No, your
God
journey's
We're
already
all
over.
on this crazy,
You're
crazy
reviewing.
trip.
help.
You're just reviewing your journey.
Uh,
Your journey's already over.
You know, Dubay actually subscribes to this stuff too. Right?
I understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I think? That God created us in his image, but we'll never be as good looking as him.
Oh, I don't
No,
think
we
I
just
don't
got
think
in the
any-
wrong line.
I don't think
Yeah,
any
we got in
man
the
can
wrong
look
line.
at them. That's what I've been told. No man can stare upon the glory of God. You've heard this, right?
No man has seen God. That doesn't mean they've never talked to him. It just means they've never seen him because he doesn't exist in the way you think he does.
No,
That's
but
why you can't see him.
But it's actually said that no man can look upon him. Like,
Right? No, because he's so powerful, he'd burn your body would be destroyed. Not your spirit, but your body would.
kind of like those
So
Nazis.
no being that's in a man's body can see him. No.
It's kind
But
of
that
like.
doesn't mean that when you die, you don't go see him.
But you remember at the last scene of the first later so the Lost Ark where the Nazis melted when they started staring at the angels. That were
Yeah,
behind
that's horseshit. That's horseshit.
It's a
That's not
movie,
how it works.
dude. So you open
I
the
know,
ark
but-
up, and next thing you know, all these
Well,
demons come
they
flying
want
out.
you to believe that it was just radioactive materials in the box, that it wasn't actually God, right? Because that's what they want you to believe. That's why they told you that story.
That's where your mind went with that, dude. Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
It's 'cause they were
That's-
looking
that's
at the
way-
ark.
They
That's
said, "Oh yeah,
why.
they're just trying to make you think that God's
They
power
opened
is
up
real."
the
that
thing
it was
and saw the
obviously
ark,
some
and
nuclear experiment gone wrong. You know?
they opened it up and melted because of the ark.
Art, I'm not going to
Well,
beg
no.
you on that.
I saw the movie. It looked like a bunch of spirits escaping, destroying them. But at the same time, they melted like fire. So it was, you know what I mean? It was kind of like symbolic, I guess. So it kind of made me think it. But I never thought of it the way it was actually made. I always thought of it as something different because
Yeah.
they don't ever tell it to you.
Well,
right?
we'll
They tell you
definitely
it's
never be
fucking
as
wrong.
smart as God. That's for sure. He's got that.
Well,
There's a back pocket.
can you make your own? You know what I'm saying? You can't create your own. We don't have the
Well,
power.
what's a fucking mercy seat anyway? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Guys, I got to run. I
Yeah.
got to go back to sleep.
Well, I'm going to get off soon because I got to go to court in the morning at 9:00.
Just run in there and start screaming, Attica, Attica.
I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to record the session live on my phone.
Don't do anything I say.
do anything I say. No, I'm going to ask them what crime I committed. I'm going to throw that on, see what they do with that. Who did I harm in the making of this video?
I don't know. It's just, it's typical.
I mean,
But-
that's all you've got because it's the only law that protects you, right?
And
But-
Dude, I got to go to court myself. I blacked out and I was driving the wrong way on the highway and I blacked out and I had like 15 cop cars stop me. I was driving the wrong way on the interstate and I was like, what the hell? But I'm gonna go to do veteran court because
Yeah, I was
No
going
close to me, baby.
I want to tell Jimmy that there was no beer involved in the making of this neither.
Clean as a whistle.
No one was beaten, but they know.
No, I was completely sober when that happened.
Best way to be.
No, gentlemen, I need to get up early in the morning, and I hope we can sort out more of the sound issues, like people's volumes. That way we give it a better listening experience for the audience.
Well, you just have to adjust volumes. That's all. You
Now,
just have to listen.
I have to do that on the Restream side because they don't have that option over here. In the
Yeah. On Restream, you'll have to just use your volumes to turn people down and just try to flatten them out so they're kind of equal.
Yeah.
Some people's equipment all the equipment's going to be different for everybody. I always set it to auto gain and just let it auto set it. It equalizes it out automatically. It's just some people's devices are louder than others. Common was so loud that it was almost impossible to hear anybody else even start to talk. So it was like,
Yeah, I'm getting comments over in the Vlad stream and over in my stream when Harmon came on. They're like, "Man,
Yeah.
We need to do something about that. So that's why I decided I'm gonna have to put the reins on it, man. You just pop in here. You're gonna have to adjust your audio before you come in. Well, I'll set up we'll do a pre-meeting and get together. Like we'll set everybody's volumes before we get on.
Yeah, so it doesn't get too overpowered.
Yeah. And what I want to do is set up a panel, like a daily panel, like the people that come on, and we can switch it up too, depending on who wants to come on. Yeah,
set it a couple nights, like Sog does.
Yeah.
Make it a few nights a week, and if you want to throw it on a weekend, make it so you can throw it on the weekend as a music weekend or something.
There you go.
Do that.
You're doing great, guys. You make a good show, and people are coming for you and to listen to you. And this is
we just chit chat, whatever we got going on. Whatever we're thinking.
great. Yeah.
All right.
So it's free flow.
Oh, gentlemen, I'll find a song and I'll play out and say goodnight to everybody. I hope we work this out in the future. That way we can
work it out.
Yeah.
Life is very short.
Yeah.
And there's
short
no time
for what?
for fussing and fighting.
My friend.
I'll see it, guys.
The
See you
Beatles
all.
reference. That was good.
Again and again. Oh, sorry. All right. It
Good
was
to see everybody.
good having you here, guys. Let's stay here. I'm gonna play out with a song. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I try to keep the show going. I'll be right back.
Long live the Constitution! DNC! 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 I'll always be a threat to an unjust government. We should always be a threat to the highest power. Liberty or death! I live life a simple mantra, existing in peace, but you're always gunning for me. Now can't you see that I don't buy into your game? I'm willing to play, I'll stand against all of the lies. Yeah, I'll defy liberty or death. DNC, 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 DNC. I'll always be a threat to an unjust government. We should always be a threat to the highest power. Lost under the gun, nowhere to run. Seeing how laws always clash with the truth. We are born free.
Can you hear me? Oh, well, wait till the music stops. I'm gonna shut this down and then we'll talk. I know you're there. I can see. I see you. Oh, hold on. Let the song's almost over. I can't play this and listen to it at the same time. Okay. Well, night, everybody. And I'm glad I got you thinking, Salad. I like to spark thoughts everywhere I go.